Are you wondering, what is an EIN? Is it for me? And things you should know before applying? Then stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jay, and welcome to my channel. Here we talk all about business tools, tips, and strategies to dominate your business, have fun, and live the life you desire. If that sounds like something of interest to you, then become a part of the family by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. That way you can be informed when videos like this and others are uploaded. So let's dive in. So what is an EIN? EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. It's also known as a F.E.I.N, which is a Federal Employee Identification Number. It's the exact same thing. And what it is essentially, it's a social security number for your business. Just like you have one personally, especially if you live in America, it's the same thing for your business. And it identifies what your business is, who your business is to the government for your taxes, business bank accounts, and anything like that. So that is what an EIN is. And you'll hear that term more often than employer identification number because, of course, we like to shorten everything. Who should get an EIN? If you plan on hiring employees, thus the name Employer Identification Number, you are required to have an EIN. And the reason why is because if you are doing payroll taxes, you need your EIN to do the payroll taxes, okay? And also, if you are in a partnership, you're required, as well as a multi-member LLC. It is something that required. Now, some may say, well, I'm a consultant. Do I need an LLC? So if you are a consultant, you may ask, well, do I need one? The IRS does not like you to commingle your funds. So if you want to get a business bank account, you will need an EIN number to do so. And that way you can have all your expenses, all of your profits in one account, and you don't have to worry about commingling funds. So it is not required, but it is recommended. But it is recommended. When should I get an EIN? It depends. Because it depends on the type of business that you are creating. If you are creating a brick and mortar business, you need an EIN much faster than someone who may be doing an online business or maybe having a store online. Or if you have a brick and mortar business, the reason why you're going to need your LLC much faster than someone, let's say, in a home-based business or a direct sales business is because when you, let's say you have a hair salon and you're going to rent a space, you're going to need a lease and they're going to need a business bank account and you're going to have your LLC, you're going to have whatever business entity you want, all of your business structures, all of that stuff together. So you're going to need your EIN much faster than, let's say, someone who is starting a store online. You may not know, even though you may be taking funds or taking some money from people online, you can just open up a personal account. But now, let me state this before I say this. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a tax accountant. I am not a CPA. So you might want to talk to your lawyer, CPA, before you decide on what structure is right for you and what steps you need to do for your business. I do have several businesses, so this is what I've done in my business. So let's say if I have an online store or online business, what I have done in the past is I've opened up a separate bank account. That's a personal bank account because I'm not sure, I don't know how many sales I'm going to get. I don't know if this is something I'm going to stay consistent at. I don't know, I'm still learning about it. Let me see, if this is something that I'm going to continue to do. So, you may not want to go through all the steps of creating an LLC, getting your EIN, or creating your business structure, getting the EIN before you decide to go full-fledged into your business. So what I did was I created another bank account. And I just kept all of my expenses. I took it out of that account. Any profits that I made, anytime somebody bought something, it was out of that account. So when it was time for me to go to my tax professional, I had all of those files in one single account. It was not mixed with my other funds, so it was easy to give to them, and it was simple and easy. Now, also what I did was I opened up a debit or credit card solely for that business. So if I needed to use credit, I can use it and I still have all of the fees on those statements so that it was separate. Then once the business started booming, I was like, oh, wait a minute, I needed to go ahead, get my LLC as well as my EIN number because I need a business bank account. So you don't necessarily have to do it up front if you're doing an Etsy store and stuff like that. You don't have to do it up front, but once you start seeing things rolling, rocking and rolling, then you need to step back and go ahead and create an EIN and get your business bank account. Now, for me, it didn't matter because my name of my company was totally different from the name of my LLC. So it just depends on if you want everything to be cohesive, you might want to get your business structure up at the same time as your company and stuff, so that way everything's cohesive. But for me, it didn't matter. So that's something that I did. Also, for an EIN number, if you will need it to get a business bank account, business credit, all that is required. And you definitely, as you continue to grow your business, you don't want to use your personal credit. You want to use your business credit and make sure your business credit is strong. You want to completely separate your personal from business, whether it's your bank account, your credit, every single thing. And also, it gives your business more credibility when you have an EIN number, because most businesses want to work with other businesses, not somebody who's kind of like dipping and dabbling, or if they're doing this on the side and they're not being 100%, it's not a full-fledged business, because then their business can be in jeopardy. So there's definitely several reasons why you should get an EIN number, but you have to determine when you should get the EIN number, and you really probably want to look it up for your state, but also the type of business that you're doing to see how soon you need to get it. So what do you need before you can get your EIN? First, you have to have your business structure. What type of business are you? Are you a S Corp, C Corp, sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC? What type of business are you? And you need to determine that. If you're brand new, you may not want to hire a lawyer to find out what type of business structure you want for your business. That's when you need to start doing some research online. You should start researching what each one of these mean and which one would be best for you, for your company, before you create your business structure, okay? And then once you create your business structure, then you can go get your EIN. The reason why, you need to be very careful and make sure that the name on when you create your business and your article, and that's going to be on your articles of declaration, is the exact same name that you're going to put in for your EIN. So let's say, for example, if your company is Johnson's Construction, and then you go to create an EIN number and you put Johnson Construction LLC. Well, that's not on when you actually incorporate it. So to register your business with like the Secretary of State, then it's going to look like two totally different entities. You can't put on one LLC and the other one not. Even for a business bank account, you'll be denied. So whatever you put in when you construct your business, if you put the LLC on it, that's what you need to fill out all your paperwork with. If you don't, then you don't have to. Or whatever type of business structure you have, it all has to be completely the same, and so that you can be approved for the different things that you're going to need throughout your business. Because if not, it's going to look like two different business entities. And that's important if you're doing vendors, using vendors or different things like that. You need to have all that stuff succinct. Now, some people may say, well, I'm a sole proprietorship. Do I need an EIN? Now, it's not required to have an EIN as a sole proprietor. If you're getting in business, you want to protect yourself. Honestly, I don't really know why people do sole proprietorships, but it's up to you, whatever you like to do. You don't ever want to have your personal stuff, such as your home, your car, to ever be in jeopardy when you have a business. If somebody wants to come after you or sue you, you want them to whatever with the business. You don't want that to roll over to your personal stuff. And as a sole proprietor, they kind of look at you and your business the same. So that's why they don't necessarily recommend, or they don't require you to have a EIN. You could even use sometimes your own social security number. But again, you're putting your assets or whatever you have, your savings, whatever, in jeopardy. So to me, I recommend at least getting an LLC. But that's just me. Do what's best for you. Okay, so if you are a sole proprietor, no, you're not required to have an EIN. But let's say you are a home-based business or you are a consultant. You want to protect yourself. Like you, after your business is going for a certain amount, you want to get your business, have it actually be a business structure and your EIN and all those different things together, because you want to protect yourself. And again, if you are doing a business, you want to get the most protection as possible so that your personal assets and stuff are not in jeopardy. And that's the reason why you normally want to start a business. You want to acquire more things and more assets so that you can have things for you and your family or leave a legacy, whatever it is, the reason why you chose to do it. So don't put yourself in a position where that can be attacked. Like for instance, when a lot of people who buy investment properties, sometimes you'll see companies, they'll have the name of the street address as LLC. For instance, like let's say it's Chelsea Road, they'll have it Chelsea Road LLC. And I mean, having each individual property under its own LLC can be a nightmare as far as tax concern, especially if you have a lot of properties. But some people may put 3 or 4 properties under that umbrella, under that same LLC. And the reason why, but it's going to be all named Chelsea LLC, right? And the reason why is because let's say you have 20 properties. If you have 3 properties and they're in all different price points, if somebody was to sue you or they fell on that property and they're trying to sue you, they cannot tack on all the rest of your properties. They can only try to get whatever is under that structure in that LLC. So you have 4, at least they're not taking the rest of your 16. You know, if you have 4, they're not taking your 12 or 50 or whatever you have. So you're kind of protecting yourself, and then you don't have to do each individual taxes for each individual property. I was told that, I'm gonna say this, well, 2 ninja tips. 1, if you have a business, you should always be willing to invest in your business and invest in education for your business and get a mentor and stuff like that. I've never had a problem with doing that. And from the trainings that I've had, from the courses and things that I paid for mentorships and trainings and stuff like that for the business that I have or I'm in, I was told that you should never have your name as your LLC or the name of your company. Now, a lot of people do. Some people say, okay, well, my last name is Johnson, so I want Johnson Construction, or, you know, my last name. Now, a lot of lawyers do have their name Klein, sometimes something, but again, they are lawyers, so they're not being charged. If they have to sue, they know exactly what the law is. But the thing is, when you have an EIN or LLC, you want to protect yourself, and the harder it is for somebody to find the things that you own, the harder it is for them to really kind of attack all the stuff that you have. And so that gives you a form of a way in order for you to protect your assets. If it's harder for someone to find out all the things that you own, then it's harder for them to come and attack all the things that you own. And you won't have to worry about, you know, if one business go down, then you don't have to worry about all the rest of your businesses that go down, you know, because of one, whatever happens, you know. So that's just a ninja tip that I was taught. A lot of people do have their name as their company, but as a business owner, maybe you want to start scrolling down. On some pages, you'll see the name of the company, but you'll also scroll down and you'll see what their LLC is or what the name of their business is. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different. That way you can start getting your mindset shifted as a business owner instead of as a consumer. Question of the week. Are you ready to create an EIN and formulate your business? If so, put in the comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Let's go over 4 key things that you should have or you should know before creating your EIN. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 4 all the way down to 1. Starting at number 4. One thing that you might want to have before you get your EIN is your domain name. Now, you don't want to buy your domain name until we get to number 1. I'm gonna tell you why. But the reason why I say your domain name is because you might want to start this is a good time as you're getting your business structure and your EIN to start thinking about what type of website you're going to have, if you're going to use a website for your business. And if you're one of those people who like everything to be cohesive and succinct, you want your business structure to be the same name as your website, as your business, as your domain name, then you might want to start considering what type of domain name you want to make sure that it's available. Okay, so that way you know that you can use this for your company, because you don't want to have the intent of having everything the same, and then you find out that it's not available. So you might want to get started on actually doing the necessary research to make sure that that domain is available and what name you want for your company. Also, it is best if you can get a .com, but depending on the type of company you have, you might need a .net or .edu. It's totally up to you and the type of company that you have, what type of ending that you need for your business. Next, number 3, you want a professional email. Now, if you are working with vendors or you're working with different, business accounts, different things like that, you're going to want a professional email address. Now, when I say professional, that doesn't mean your name at Gmail or Comcast. It means whatever your company name is at the end and whatever's on the front. So you want to open up a shoe store. Hi, my name is Jay and I'm a shoe addict. Let's be real, I am. So, but let's say if I open up a shoe store and you decide to name your shoe store, Banging Shoes, right? .com. You want it to be, your name. Let's say if it's John at bangingshoes.com or Jay at bangingshoes.com, because it's more of a professional name. So you want to have whatever your domain name is, you can use that as an email address. Now, as far as the domain names, I use GoDaddy. I'll put the link to GoDaddy below just in case that's one that you're interested in using. But you definitely want to have an email, a professional name. Sometimes they charge you for it, sometimes like additional, just a couple dollars a month. So that gives you more credibility, and it's something that you will want as you're formulating your business and getting your EIN. And it could be something as simple as like hello at Banging Shoes. It doesn't matter, but you want more professional one, just not a generic one like a Gmail, Yahoo, or anything like that. Number 2 is a professional address. You do want to have a professional address for your business. And, if you don't have an actual brick and mortar store, then you may want to get a virtual office, or maybe even check something like a UPS store where they have suites, no PO boxes. You are not able to put a PO box on your form. Now, the UPS, they have like suites, so it's like the address plus a suite number, so it looks like it's a business. So you can kind of use something like that. However, if you have like a home-based business, then your address would actually be your home, and that's okay, because if you're looking to get a business bank account, the bank will not be required to come out to take a look at your house and ask you to have a banner outside. Whereas if you put another address like a UPS suite or something like that, or any other thing, sometimes as a business bank account, and of course it depends on the state, the business bank that you go with, they may have to come out and take a look, and they want to see if there's a banner outside for your business. So maybe if you do like one of those WeWorks, you'll be okay, but if you're using a UPS or something like that, you can't, there's no banner. So you might want to think about what type of address you want to use for your business, and professional address that you want to use for your business for the things that you're trying to do. We are down to number 1, the one thing you need before creating your EIN. Of course, besides your business structure, is you need to know the name of your business. Maybe the obviously, but you need to know the name. And that's one of the reasons why I said don't pay for number 4, which is your domain name, until you decide what your business name is. And some of the tips for your business name would be, you want it to be short, catchy, sweet, something, easy to remember, such as like Dell, Canon, Deer Park. You want to be careful if you put a number in your name like Five Below or Forever 21, because some people may not know if should they do 5, F-I-V-E, below, or is it number 5? But if you notice, if you ever look up Five Below, if you put in the number 5below.com, it forwards automatically to F-I-V-E below.com. And I believe Forever 21 does the same. So that may be something you might want to think about if you choose to put a number inside your name. Also, you want to have a name that's going to be future proof. So let's say if you are selling shoes and you're selling women's shoes and you decide to name it Princess Shoes, right? But you've gotten so big, you're like, you know what? I know all about shoes. Now I want to expand to men's shoes. Well, guess what, boo? No man is going to buy from a store called Princess Shoes. So instead of naming it Princess Shoes, you might want to call it Elegant Shoes. So that way, if you choose to open your line to men and women, Elegant Shoes can be, sold to anybody. That's why you want to future-proof your name. You don't want to have it so confined that if you decide to expand later on, that it's kind of hard. So if you are ready to create your EIN number, then make sure you look at one of my other videos where I actually show you step by step on where to go to create your EIN absolutely free. And remember, if you're looking for your domain name, you can feel free to look for any of the links down below to help you with that process. So as always, laugh, love, live life to the fullest, and don't forget to live your passion. See you on the next one. Bye.